It's their gator style design to help keep debris out of the shoe. I don't know. I would have just preferred a traditional. Good job, Nike. Good job. This was interesting. All right, the wild horse, the Kiger. These days, it's just they're definitely not at the top of the pile with respect to trail running scene. Who misses, not the question today, who misses the Nike Wild Horse 5? All right, great shoe from maybe 2019, roughly. Love that shoe, the Nike Wild Horse 5. But after that, the Wild Horse and the Kigers, they're doing their thing. But I always think of road running when I think of Nike. I don't often think of trail running. However, here we go. Nike ZoomX Zegama Trail. All right, and how they worked it out with the Zegama to get that in the name, I do not know. I'd be fascinated to learn that. All right, so Nike ZoomX Zegama Trail. Let's put it on the scale, and there's the stats on your screen with respect to the drop. All right, 37 is pretty high for that heel. So if you prefer ground contact feel out on the trails, this is not the trail running shoe for you. Getting 9.3 ounces. There's my scores for the weight. All right, so we got engineered mesh on the upper. All right, we'll get to that. ZoomX throughout the entire midsole, and then 4mm multi-directional lugs on the outsole. And we'll come back to that in a minute. Oh, I hate to go here, but I gotta. The drawback for the entire shoe is the tongue. It's the tongue, Nike. It's just not long enough. It's not tall enough. The laces are gonna, they may have, but they're very close to slipping off the top of that tongue once you're all laced up and locked in there. And I'm just wondering, Nike, why couldn't we have added a 1/4 inch? Would have been perfect. It was so disappointing lacing up in the car there, and combined with for digging and going faster. And if you're going to put ZoomX, in that midsole, let's pick up the paces a little bit out on the trails. And that's how I would use this shoe, up-tempo trail running. And that's what I was doing in the testing. And I was slipping, not so much my heel coming out of the heel pocket, but the collar. All right, it's that booty style collar. It's their gator style design to help keep debris out of the shoe. I don't know. I would have just preferred a traditional collar. I just think that gators, if you're really concerned about dirt and debris and rocks getting into your trail running shoes, just get a gator, a regular gator. And these gators that are built in, I'm not convinced that they really do the job well. And then it creates this loosey-goosey feel. Oh, by the way, let's do it. A little twist test. Woo, it's pretty stout. No geese today, everybody. It's a stout. It's not twisting very much at all. All right, nice bumper through the toe box. Toe cap, non-existent. All right, I mean, it is, if you kick a rock or a root, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna be a little bit of a doozy on your big toe there. So that's interesting. I didn't notice that out there in the testing. ZoomX throughout the entire midsole. There's the scores, and solid on the ride and energy return. So it didn't get good scores on the upper, but you remember, you gotta ask yourself, maybe I'm just concerned about getting ZoomX under my feet for trail running. If that's the case, here you go. The Zegama Trail is for you. It was fun. I will warn you though, a little bit of creasing happening already, okay? And not to be surprised by that when you're talking about ZoomX in some pretty serious, gnarly trail running conditions. I was getting like 46, 47, I do believe. There it is on your screen for the durometer. All right, I do testing now like all over the shoe, and then I basically average it out. All right, so we're getting 44 there, getting 50 there, getting 48 there. So I think I landed at about 46 for the durometer. Multi-directional lugs on that outsole. I like it. I like the change up. It's unique. There's not all the same size and dimension, and they are 4mm, and I like, not a commuter shoe. All right, glad I remembered that. Those lugs, you would feel it too much. You would just feel it a lot. It would be a little uncomfortable understep to take this on pavement and concrete to commute to the trails. That's what I mean by a commuter shoe. And no rock plate, all right? I thought for a second maybe there was a rock plate in there. Oh yeah, I'll just say, in the testing, I did not feel, because of that 37, 33 millimeter, I didn't feel any like sharp rock. Like I was on some pretty sharp rock type trails, and I didn't feel the rocks poking through into the bottom of my foot. So that's good. It's plenty of ZoomX under your feet to protect you from the sharp rocks out there on the trail. Fit, again, it really comes down to the collar. Not awesome. Durability, did I already mention 300? You know, it's just that creasing is already happening. Yeah, you could push it, of course, to 400 to 500, but I think that for that full ZoomX, and when I'm doing my durability predictions, first of all, I source photos from all of you, info@DeMoorGlobalRunning.com, but also it's the creasing, but it's that full benefit from the midsole before it starts to break down. Price point, it's a little rough. It's probably that high because of the ZoomX. I get it, but in the trail scene, I think that, well, here you go. I would buy the Fuji Light 2 and the Speed Goat 5 in a heartbeat before this guy, but I gotta say, it was fun. I think Nike's got potential here. Watch out. I think they do. Now they need to drop the weight a little bit, drop the price a little bit if they could, and then maybe just tidy up the collar there, and the tongue especially. That is the major drawback for this shoe. Shoe quick specs on your screen, and full review score, little low, all right? But again, ask yourself, what do I want the most out of my trail running shoes? And take note of that toe cap. You know, if you're prone to kicking rocks and roots, but you like ZoomX, you guys got to weigh, like, what do I want most out of the shoes? There you go, 6.2 out of 10. Christopher, you get the comment of the day. Hey, Seth, fairly new to the channel here in Brighton, UK, with a 1 month year old. I think this is from a year ago, so your 1 month old is probably a year old. Thanks for the early morning inspiration. I've been getting up at 4:30 a.m., that's what I'm talking about, and hitting the local trails with a pair of Terra Kiger 5s for 30 pounds on eBay. My first trail shoe. That's amazing. Looking forward to the journey ahead and having trails as part of my Chicago Marathon training schedule. There you go, everybody. Christopher, thank you for dropping the comment. And question of the day is ZoomX necessary on the trails? Is ZoomX midsole foam necessary on the trails? Ooh. You take it any direction you want there, DGR. All right, onward we go. The testing continues. Listen, I would buy it again. I would. It was fun. It was fun. Just a few things they could work on, I think, moving forward. All right, everybody, we'll toss it to the Nike running shoe playlist. Right, Nike running shoe playlist right there, right there, right there. All right, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.